Hi, Kat. So nice to be chatting with you. Please tell us a little bit about the White Company, what they do, and what your role is there.
So the White Company are a lifestyle brand. They sell predominantly clothing and homewares. We're mainly based in the UK. We've got a couple of international stores. But what I do there is my role is head of ethics and sustainability. And so looking after our worker rights program as well as our sustainable materials.
So obviously being in the fashion sector and dealing across a number of different products that you sell presents a lot of social and environmental challenges to manage. Can you maybe share what some of those key challenges are for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So by virtue of the fact that we sell products, it's not the most sustainable thing in the world, but there are loads of challenges in the whole industry that we are working with and working against. Specifically around sustainability, we are really working towards having more sustainable materials, and what comes with that is huge challenges around cost, for example. And a big one is always going to be around worker rights. So workers inside the factories, how much they're paid, their working hours. So that's why teams like ours exist, to make sure that we are working towards the greater good. So when we set about our journey to become B Corp certified, we started out on our own, and it became evident that we couldn't do it completely on our own. I think what we needed was that critical eye and someone to look at us from that external lens, just to show us what our blind spots were. And that's when it was evident that Seismic had all of the expertise within that they could support us in achieving B Corp.
And in general, what benefit does it bring working with an external partner?
I really like the thought of holding up that mirror, because nobody is perfect and it's trying to do the best that you can. And when you have someone externally who's able to say to you, actually, this is great, but maybe not this, and maybe it would help to have more transparency in this area, for example, that is really, really beneficial. But also for internal stakeholder engagement, for that buy-in internally, it's really positive to have someone externally to say, actually, this is where you can improve. So that's a huge benefit for any company, I think. And it also just to have that reassurance as well. It goes both ways. It's good to have that critical eye, but also to have someone telling you where you are doing well too, because sometimes we can be our own critics and our own worst enemies. So it's nice to have that balance of both.
So there are so many different frameworks and certifications out there. Why did becoming a B Corp specifically feel right for the White Company?
Over the years, we have done a huge amount of work on our sustainability program, but we've not ever really had it in one framework or in one place before. Our clothing director, Barbara, first proposed that we became B Corp because she was acutely aware of all of the work going on behind the scenes that we were doing, and she wanted it to be recognised, essentially. So it was her bring that to life. And the board were behind it, and it became an obvious North Star for us that that's actually would suit our brand perfectly. And what it has done is completely align all of the different areas of our program and just brought it all together. And I think it's actually given us as a business a kind of more acute sense of purpose in what we're doing, because our brand is all about quality, longevity. We're slow fashion, not fast fashion. So it really suits the premise behind what we're trying to achieve anyway, but it's just giving that fundamental foundation to it.
So being an impact expert that you are, and having now gone through successfully the B Corp certification process, do you have any advice for other companies who are considering a similar pathway?
I would definitely say don't underestimate the power of having help. It's sometimes tempting to go alone when you feel like you've got everything in place, but having that third eye will definitely benefit and give you, it will hold that mirror up where you really need it. And that links into the next piece. I would say don't be afraid of feedback. Don't be afraid of where you're not doing well. It doesn't mean that you're failing. It just means that it's an area that you can improve on.
If you had to choose one word, how would you describe working with Seismic?
I find this hard to pin down to one word, because I have found Seismic comforting, reassuring. It felt like it gave us independence, but I would say enriching is my one word. It incorporates everything.
Thank you.
You're welcome.